Tell us a little bit about growing up in your home.
Well, growing up in my home, I was abused as a child. It was a pretty rough life. When I was 5 years old, I was a very angry person, mainly because my father being an alcoholic and being abusive. Well, every time I got mad, I showed anger, whether it be hitting, kicking, throwing things. Felt like that's all I knew how to do. I never knew how to take in love. It felt like I never knew what love was. The way I found love was smoking marijuana. That was the way I was happy and content. I had girls, I had many girls, but that didn't give me the happiness, the love that I needed. I never felt loved and appreciated ever. As I got older, to get the love and appreciation that I needed, it was more, I thought I found the woman that I loved. But then I grew deeper into partying and having fun, and then my anger showed out whenever I got mad. I was a good going person whenever I was drinking or smoking marijuana until I became angry or things didn't go my way. I always thought things needed to go my way. I associated myself with people that always wanted to have fun, the life of the party. People that smoked and drank, did what they wanted to do. Well, it didn't feel too good whenever I found myself getting deeper into drugs and alcohol. When I was 23 years old, I had my own family. I had a pretty happy life, but I was abusing drugs and alcohol. And it all started with one bad night. Things didn't go my way, so I thought I would stay out. And while I was staying out that night, on my way home, I ended up getting into a fight with a guy and accidentally killed him. For me, I didn't know I had killed him, but when the police came and got me, I found out that I did, and it changed my life. Losing everything before my eyes. I lost my family, I lost my freedom, and that hurt the most, losing my children. When I say losing my family, I mean by my family was my happiness. My family was my joy. They gave me peace. That's why I felt the love that I never felt as a child. For the altercation that I got into, it was more about me taking it too far because I had been drinking. And what I thought was just regular fighting, it really wasn't. I had stumped the guy and probably kicked him a little too many times and let my anger get the best of me before I could control and see what I was doing. I never thought about what I was doing, like most people when they get angry. When I came to prison, I was very antisocial, angry person. In prison, I found myself in a two-man cell. I was in the Plus program here, and I had a cellmate, and I got so mad one time, I said some really wrong things to him, and that's when I realized where I was at with my anger, and that I needed to check myself, get my life right with God. Yeah, I thought about God when I was on the streets, but I never really took the time to get a connection with God, get that relationship that I needed. For me, what happened for me was seeing how angry I was. It really started when I got into the Plus program and I got in that two-man cell, and I got to looking at myself, where I was at as far as being a man. And I was worried about having a female on my side through this time and stuff like that. And then one day I realized that I needed to change my life. I realized that that what I was searching for, it wasn't in a female. The love that I was searching for was in God. And one day I decided I was gonna let that lady know that she needed to move on with her life, and that I had some things I needed to work on, some personal issues with God in my life. Before coming to God, I didn't have peace. I couldn't turn away from a situation. I always thought that these were the answer, that fighting was the answer. But I came to find out that God showed me how to love. He showed me how to be a man, how to accept love, and show love when nobody else won't show you love. That's what God taught me. God gave me peace. My life is better because I'm a much better father. You know, I know how to control my emotions. I know how to speak with love, be respectful, and be a leader to children, to family. Prison changed my life in that kind of way, but God changed my way with love. He showed me the love that I never been shown before, and now I can show it to others. The other day I was faced with a situation where a guy got up in my face and kind of was pointing his fingers and stuff like that, and the old me would have just went ahead and dealt with it the hard way, the way that would have got me in a lot of trouble, and I would have lost my cool without a doubt. But me being the person I am, God showed me how to be cool, how to still be cool and hold my temper back and deal with it the right way. And that's by making a good choice to step back from the situation and let God talk to me. And with that, I found that I can walk away from situations. I can be the better man. I don't always have to deal with situations by fighting. I can deal with situations by talking and by looking at the situation and making good choices. Man, they were so amazed whenever when they seen what I did. Many people came up to me. And one person said, "Steve, man, I'm amazed, man. You did better than what I could have done." And that felt good for me because I used to not be that guy that could walk away. Another guy came to me and said, "You did a good job. You did what God wanted you to do. You know, you're doing the works of God, and you're showing what type of man you are." It made me feel like a leader, a better father figure. Because if I would have lost my temper, I would have felt no good. I would have felt like everybody down. But for me, it's been over 3 years now since I hit somebody. Thanks to God. Because before this, I couldn't go a year without hitting somebody. I couldn't go, a couple days without cussing somebody out, thinking I was always right. For me, when I sing, God's Spirit comes upon me. The words that come out of my mouth are always so real because the way God changed my life, from the way I was before I came to prison and the way I am now, I've come so far. I've worked on my anger. I learned how to love. And now God gives me that peace. A lot of songs are talking about faith, peace, being better. And God's made me better. And that's what makes me stronger in my music. I feel the music. I feel the Holy Spirit come upon me. For the way I was raised as a kid, I wanted to be better as a father. So my motivation is to be a loving father, to be able to treat every situation with love, no matter if it's a bad situation, a good situation. My motivation is to give them joy and show them the peace that God has gave me. For me, I used to be just an angry person. I don't think I ever knew where my heart stood until I caught this case, until I lost everything right before my eyes. And it made me appreciate life. It made me appreciate family. It made me appreciate the small things in life that we always take for granted out there on the streets, like a piece of meal. And nowadays, I could go and sing a song and feel the joy that it gives me to be, the joy that I get from being a better person. It feels good to be a greater person. I'm free in prison. I'm free where I'm at. I'm able to smile and say I'm a better father now than what I would have been if I would have stayed out there. And that drives me to get many tears when I'm singing. God saw the best in me when I was so low in life, when I was hooked on drugs, when I was drinking, when I was lost, so prideful. God helped me break my pride, and it's given me strength to be a better man. And that's why it always brings tears to my eyes when I sing a really good song about what God has done for me. God's mercy kept me, His love, His grace, just all about it. You know, God kept me in the darkest times. He gave me comfort when I didn't realize He was even there. He got me through all the abuse, all the drug abuse. He got me through it all. God's mercy is what made me a greater person. I got 16 more years left in here. And I've been here 5 years right now. The hope and courage that I have is knowing that in 16 years, I'm going to be so much greater. God has so many opportunities now that I have given Him my heart. I know that God has opened up doors. And just from in here, I'm able to reach out to a child going through abuse, a child struggling through addiction, or a young man, a young woman that has no hope. And I'm able to say that there is hope. There is love in God. One of my best days would be giving my life to God. Deciding that I wasn't going to keep on making the old choices. That I was going to be a better man. That I was going to be a better father. And that I was going to be a leader